Okay, the consumer price index indicates the relative change in price over time for a fixed basket of goods and services. In general, if the rate of inflation averages R% over n years, then the CPI after n years is CPI equals CPI initial. Initial amount. CPI equals CPI, the initial amount, times 1 plus R, which is the inflation rate, over 100, parentheses, to the n power, which is like the number of years, where CPI initial is the CPI index at the beginning of the n year period. Okay, so the first question is, A, the CPI was 151.8 for 1995 and 179.3 for 2003. Assuming that inflation remained constant for this time period, determine the average annual inflation rate. Okay, so I'm trying to determine the inflation rate. So I know for one thing that it was from the years 1995 to 2003, so there was an 8-year period. So into the formula n, standard for the year, so I plug in 8 for n over here. And then I have the initial consumer price index, which is right here, back in 1995, 151.8, and the one that was later, which was in 2003, was 179.3. So I have 179.3 equals 151.8 times, like in parentheses, 1 plus R over 100, parentheses to the 8th power, and I'm trying to solve for R. Okay, so to solve for R, I'm going to have to first get rid of this 151.8 on the side. And I'm going to do that by dividing both sides by 151.8. So I divided both sides here by 151.8, and on this side it just cancels out. And on this side it became 179.3 over 151.8. So I ended up with 179.3 over 151.8 equals, parentheses, 1 plus R over 100, parentheses to the 8th power. Now, I'm going to try to get R by itself, and I'm going to do that next by taking the 8th root of both sides. So I raised the left side here, 179.3 over 151.8 to the 1/8 power. And it's going to equal 1 plus R over 100. Now, the next thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to subtract 1 from both sides. So I'm going to get 179.3 over 151.8 raised to the 8th power minus 1 equals R over 100. Yeah. So equals to R over 100. And now I'm trying to get R by itself. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 100 to get R by itself. So I know that if I multiply the left